So if you're kind of confused, you don't know how much you need to start your Poland journey, or probably you've already started your Poland journey and you still kind of like don't know how much you actually need when you are in Poland within your first month or first 3 months in Poland, then this video is for you. Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. So if this is your first time of seeing my face, hello, my name is Julia Ezeji, as well known as Nurse Julia Ezeji. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, how about you do that right now? Subscribe and also turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. So let's start with admission. Let's assume that you've already gotten your school. Maybe your university is about 2,000 euro per year, or maybe about 5,000 euro per year, or 3,000 euro. And there's a very cheap school here in Lublin that's about, you can get a course for as 1,000 euro per year. Yes, cool. Go check out that school. They have a very low tuition fee. So you can check them out. So whatever school you decide, whatever university you decide to study, depending on the tuition fee, can range from like 1,000 euro up to like 5,000 euro. I think 5,000 euro is the highest. That is for nurses. Let's look at, for instance, you set aside 2,000 euro for your school. Then you now look at application fee. So university in Poland, they don't require application fee. Why some they require application fee, like that university I told you about, cool, that they always request for application fee, which is about 25 euro. So if you decide to go for that school, so you can factor in your application fee. So application fee can range from, I think the lowest is about 25 euro to about 100 euro. There are some universities that request for 300 euro, like my university application fee is 300 euro, some is 200 euro, 150 euro. So let's factor that in to add that to your bill. Then after that, you now look at your authenticating your documents in Abuja. So I don't know which part of the country you're from, which region, either you are from Asia, India, or wherever. So check your Ministry of Education how much to authenticate documents there. So I'm speaking from the Nigerian. So authenticating your document and Ministry of Education Foreign Affairs, so if you are authenticating one document, so it will cost you nothing more than 10,000 naira. Why? Because you need to, like, the scratch card, you go to cafe, do registration, you do some payments here and there. You all know what I mean by some payment here and there. But if you send someone to do it for you, for what per document, you can spend up to 20 to 25,000 naira. Yes, it's possible. Then let's look at that's for Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs. Legalizing your documents at the embassy. So like if you've gotten your appointment date, so appointment visa application is 80 euro, and also legalization is 30 euro. So if you are legalizing 2 documents, so it has to be times 2. So a document is like your transcript. Even if your transcript is 5-page, that is regarded as a document. Add that, so depends how many documents you have to legalize, so multiply it by 30 euro. So this is exclusive of your transport, wherever you are transporting yourself from any part of Nigeria to Abuja. I did not add that. So this is just the basic expenses, miscellaneous expenses. It all depends on how you want to make your life easier during this application process. So let's look at accommodation. After your admission, before your visa application, you need to sort out your accommodation. So it depends on where you want to source for your accommodation. Either you want to source it off campus or in school, in the university. There are some private university that they can give you accommodation letter. You just pay the administrative fee of like 100 euro. That's what my university do. So not necessarily, you don't really need to stay in the hostel. It's just to like give you a pass, like a document for you to take to the embassy as your accommodation. So if your university can do that for you, good and fine. Some university in Lublin and some university in Warsaw and Poznan, their accommodation, though sometimes it's shared room accommodation, between 400 to 600, which is very, very affordable. So you can continue with that. My university accommodation is so expensive, put in a room, so each person has to pay like I think about 1,200 zloty, about 1,000 zloty as a then. So I don't know how much now. so it's quite too expensive. So most people always prefer to get their accommodation outside. They only use it for visa purposes, which is valid. You factor in your accommodation. So sometimes hostel accommodation, it ranges between 400 zloty to up to 1,200 zloty, even some 1,500 zloty. The ones from 1,200 to 1,500 zloty in the hostel usually is all the studio apartment. And that same standard of studio apartment, if you want to get it off campus, off the school hostel, you will pay up to like 2,000 to 2,500, even up to like 3,000 zloty per month. Yeah, so the ones you get for like 400 to 600 zloty, depend on the university. Not for my university, it's sometimes it can be 2 people in a room, 3 people in a room. It all depends. So ask your university how much. So just calculate which one is your university offering you, and factor it into your tuition fee, visa application, and other expenses you've done. So you have to do your calculation yourself. I can't really help you with that. I'll give you an idea so you know how to do your calculations. So now if you feel like, okay, my university don't have accommodation, they don't offer accommodation letter, okay, I want to source it outside. So just make sure you get from a genuine landlord, and the landlord register this accommodation in your name. There's a way they used to do it. You go to the local government, register the accommodation, so that when the embassy calls the landlord will be able to verify that, yeah, they may contact the local government to be sure that, okay, this accommodation is registered in this person's name. So make sure the landlord does that, and there is a document they will give you to prove that. So just have to make sure you meet someone that you know that will help you with that. Such accommodation off campus ranges from about 600 zloty. Yes, for you to get 600 zloty, that means you have to stay far, because I have a video that I made where you how to cut cost in Poland. I'm going to leave it in the description section down below, or I'll leave it to show here as a card. So I made a detailed video there on how to cut cost while in Poland. So go watch that video so that you have a lot to learn there. So if the accommodation cost depends, for you to get accommodation of 600 to 700 zloty, even down to 500 zloty, depends on how close it is to the city center. And remember, if you are a student that go to class almost like every time, so you have to put that into consideration where you're going to rent your apartment. Yeah, so it's all depends. So now look at it. If you're the type that you want a 2-bedroom apartment, so let's look at from 800, 900, 1,000, even up to 1,500 zloty per month. So just give a rough estimate. If you are new in Poland, I would advise you to go for a shared apartment, even if it's 3, 4, 5, 6 bedroom shared apartment. Go for it. Budget, if you want to go for shared apartment, 3-bedroom apartment upward, so you just go for something like budget like 850, 900 to 1,000 zloty. Yeah. And there's always a deposit. There's something they call deposit. The landlord always like deposits, so that when you live in the apartment, if you like maybe the wall, you stain the wall, or maybe there's something you damaged, they will not refund your deposit. And the deposit is always the same amount you're paying for your rent. So if your accommodation goes for like 800 zloty, so your deposit is going to be 800. So you factor that in so that you know how much you're going to be spending, how much you're going to be needing before you start your Poland journey. So now that you start your Poland journey and you want to know how much you'll be needing coming to Poland, your first 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you're still not sure of how much you're going to be needing, then keep watching. Now that you're in Poland, welcome. So what are we going to be looking at? We're going to be looking at bills, we're going to be looking at food, we're going to be looking at buses, we're going to be looking at health insurance, we're going to be looking at factor in, but some of this I just listed, they are optional depending on some factors. So I'm going to be let you all know in details as we proceed. So first, let's look at, now that you are in Poland, what next? Cost of living for a whole full month. So if you are the type that you have money to spread around, you have a whole lot of money to spend, please, I think you should stop watching from here. So if you're in a very tight budget, you really want to cut costs, then I think you should keep watching. So now that you're in Poland, let's look at cost of bills. So cost of bills can range from 50 zloty. If you're in the hostel, you may not pay bill because yeah, I have like 3 friends in the hostel, stay in the school accommodation. They don't pay bills, so they kind of like factor in everything, the cost of accommodation, everything. You just pay them at once. So even if you use heater, most time they don't always have washing machines in they have central washing machine, so you need to pay to use the washing machine, not like in shared apartment where you see each apartment have a washing machine. So there's always a central washing machine. There's a video I did in Warsaw, Investor of Warsaw hostel accommodation, where you will see where the central washing machine, how it looks like and how they use it, and you pay to wash. It's not free. So if you are staying in the school accommodation, just be ready to pay money to wash your clothes. But if you are a real African woman, African man, that you know how to wash this by yourself, if you have the time, go for it. Sometimes I wash my clothes myself, even though we have washing machine here. There's some fabric that you don't need to wash it in the washing machine. So we'll look at bills. How much do you pay for bills if you are staying in a shared apartment? Bills ranges. I doubt if there's any bill for 50 zloty again. So if any house agent is telling you bill is between 50 and 100 zloty, just don't trust that person, because maybe as at 2021, that's where people pay bills for 50 zloty. But since mid 2022, right from the onset of this Russia and Ukraine war, I barely hear friends. I've not seen anyone that pay bills of 80 zloty. Seriously. So bills have really gone high. So if you are looking at money for bills, just budget with between 120 zloty to like 150 zloty. Sometimes can go as high as 200 zloty. Sometimes I've paid a bill. This is exclusive of your rent. I've paid bills of 300 zloty. Yeah. Let's look at how much for food. Yeah, I have a video where I did about food. Maybe I'll do another updated video of buying food, groceries, food in Poland. But check out my vlog. I have a bunch of vlog I did where in between I vlog in the store buying groceries. So just watch the video. Sometimes it used to be at the middle of the video, or sometimes at the end of it. Watch it till the end. You will see a whole lot of videos where I do buying groceries and all those stuff. So like I said in my how to cut costs in Poland, how I was able to cut costs in Poland is buying stuff from African store all the time. You end up spending up to 600 zloty monthly on buying things from African store, and you cannot bring all the Nigerian food you need from Africa because you have limited kg that you can stock all your things. So don't mind when they tell you don't bring your clothes from Nigeria. Bring them, or you will need it. Seriously, I've been wasting money buying clothes on Shine. These are clothes that I had in Nigeria that I dumped because I listened to what they said. Don't bring your clothes, you will not need it. Most of the clothes you'll be wearing here is winter clothes. Bring your clothes, your jeans in Nigeria, bring them. Your tops, time will come that you will actually need them. Winter jacket, I can say just buy one. Boots, I can say just buy one. When you come here, you buy those things. But all those your peperempe clothes, shakara clothes that will make you look good, your African wears, bring them. You will definitely need them here, and they are quite expensive buying it here, and you may not even get as quality as the ones you have in Nigeria. So if you're the type that you are not a heavy eater, so let's say 300 zloty should be enough for you for groceries, buy 1 or 2 things from African store. But if you stock up like enough, like you bring your egusi, your bono, your crayfish and all those things from Nigeria, so you may not, like for 2, 3, 4, 5, even some of my pepper I brought from Nigeria that I'm still using, some of my dried leaf I brought from Nigeria that I'm still using. So yeah, because I had enough space, I did not come with enough clothes. So if you're going to come with enough clothes, you may not necessarily need those things. And don't stress yourself coming with red oil, because there's a red oil here, varieties of red oil, and it's not really that expensive. You can get red oil for like 15 zloty, even up to 20 zloty. That will be enough for you for like 4, 5 months, even 6 months, no matter how often you cook. But if you're a Yoruba person, my Nigerian Yoruba person that like cooking with a whole lot of red oil, but definitely you're going to change when you come to Poland. So then you can say that red oil may be enough for you for like 2, 3 months. But don't stress yourself coming red oil. That space you use to carry your red oil, use it to take something else much more important. So let's look at transportation. Your bus card, that's for students, is between, depending on your city, but this ranges between 60 zloty. Initially it was about 55 zloty, but now they've added some, they've increased it by just a little percent, so it's now about 60 zloty depending on your city, The highest you can get bus card, I think 65 to 70 zloty. That is if you're a student. If you're not a student, you're coming on a work visa. So bus card maybe like maybe 100, 150, 200 zloty. I have no idea about that. So I'm speaking from the student perspective. So that is your monthly bus card. But if you're the type like me, that my apartment is very close to the university, maximum walk is like 20 minutes. That is if I want to take my time walking. But if I want to walk fast, I spend maximum 10 minutes on the way going to my university. So I don't usually use the bus all the time. If we're having the lectures in the campus, I just take a walk. Except we are having the lectures off campus, or we're going for clinicals, or I need to go to a fast store to get some grocery. That's when I take bus. So I usually don't buy bus card. I load my app. There's a particular app you use for paying for your bus fare online. So I just load it. I usually load 60 zloty. So at the end of the month, I end up having a leftover of 10 zloty, sometimes 15 zloty, sometimes 5 zloty. Well, there are some times that we had, like this January, we have been having lectures like almost every day. So I've ended up spending 65 zloty, and we still have like few days for the month to end, and which means I'll end up spending like 75 zloty. But that is on a rare occasion. So if you are the type that you need a bus, you always take bus to the class, and that is if you have class every day and you have other activities that takes you out through here and there, and you need to use the bus, try and get a bus card. Make sure you pay for your bus tickets, because if these people catch you, you're going to pay 180 zloty. I think it's 200 zloty now. So imagine you paying a bus card of 1.2 zloty, you refuse to pay it, and you end up paying a fine of 200 zloty. So that's really crazy. It doesn't make sense. So basically, monthly, your expenses based on what I just mentioned. Now, if you're staying in a hostel, that is all those hostels that you pay between 400, 600, 800 zloty, should not be more than 1,500 zloty inclusive. If you're not a heavy eater, and also you don't live extravagant life, you don't like show off and trying to do the big girl big boy thing. So this should be your budget, with monthly budgets. Yeah. But if you're the type that you stay in a two-bedroom apartment where you pay your accommodation for like 1,200 to 2,000 zloty, so your monthly budget should be like 3,000 zloty. Yeah, that is it. So many miscellaneous expenses that we can look at in this, that you need to factor in depending on your lifestyle. For instance, let's look at phone bills, insurance, health insurance. Sometimes you may want to go for shopping, you may want to go for the gym. So gym is between 80 zloty to about 150 zloty. I think majority of the gym outlet is 100 zloty. So if you like have a contract with them for like 1 year, you pay like maybe 80 zloty per month. I usually don't go to the gym. I do my gym in the house. Not really like if I want to go to gym, I cannot afford it. I can afford it, but I want to spend myself that money and use it for something better. Yeah, that's the fact. I want to spend that money and use it for something better. So if you're the type that want to go to gym, so you need to add that factor in. So this falls within the miscellaneous expenses. And also your phone bills. Depends if the house, the accommodation, the apartment where you're staying, there's internet, Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi. There's some accommodation that there's no Wi-Fi. So the tenants, the occupants need to get source for this Wi-Fi themselves. So you need to factor that in. Sometimes, depending if it's a two-bedroom apartment, you pay like 80 zloty, 40 zloty a month. But if the house owner is able to get you this Wi-Fi, so that is off your neck, you don't need to pay for that. So now look at your mobile phone, the bills, the phone bills. Are you going for Orange? Are you going for Play Mobile? Are you going for Leica? Depending on your monthly subscription. Like my monthly subscription is 25 zloty. Yes, per month. So there is option of 5 zloty, which is for only data. So if you're the type that like paying for your bus card on your phone and you're trying to cut costs, you can do the 5 zloty subscription monthly. And I think that is about 1 gig. Is not always enough. When it comes to internet, I'm a very heavy user. Sometimes I subscribe my phone data, despite I have 20 Wi-Fi. We have Wi-Fi in the house, but sometimes I subscribe my phone data like twice in a month. Yes, sometimes I exhaust my data. Yeah, it happens. you may want to do, you may just be watching some movie, watching some things that your data may just, you may just run out of data. So it all depends. There's something I said about these mobile phones. Check out my video where I talked about how to cut costs in Poland. So you have a lot to learn there. So check out that video. I said a whole bunch of things there. So yeah, basically I think this is all I have. So if you look at it, like I said, if you're the type that you like cutting costs, so 1,500 zloty should be enough for you, including miscellaneous expenses, including feeding, including your accommodation, depending on the cost of your accommodation. If your accommodation is within 600 to 800 zloty. In short, if your accommodation is 600 zloty per month, including bills, that if you are staying in a hostel, or maybe you are staying outskirts of the city center, like far away, you may not even spend up to 1,500 zloty. If you are not a heavy eater, if you don't eat too much, 400 zloty is enough for you for groceries. Initially, when I came to Poland, I was spending like 200 zloty a month for groceries, but then you can get a nylon bag, 50 zloty, and the bag is so filled up with a whole lot of things. But now you just pick 1 or 2, 3 things, and yeah, they will tell you 60 zloty. So that's why I said 400 zloty. Yeah, so you may end up even spending 1, 2. Yeah, if your accommodation is 600, if your accommodation is 800, may fall within the 1,500. So just know how you do this calculation, rough estimate. It may not be like exact, but at least with what I just said now, you should be able to get at least 90% of your expenses while in Poland, and also your expenses, expenses before you start your Poland journey and why in Poland. So just do your calculation very well. And if you have any question to ask, if there's anything I've skipped out why during the course of doing this video, and you want a specific question, please drop in the comment section, ask me this question. I always attend to all my commenters, so I love your comments. I love you guys. You guys are really encouraging me to do more videos. So yeah, so I want to do more of sit and talk videos, because I noticed my subscribers have a whole lot of questions to ask, and I'm tired of typing, saying it, or typing all the time. I have a lot of people asking me questions in my email, in my Facebook page. So I'm tired of saying the same thing and same thing all over again. So if there's any video you want me to do, drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to do that for you. So guys, this brings us to the end of this video, and I hope you enjoy this video. Yeah, so if you watch this video to this stage, thumbs up to you, and please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the red button down below, subscribe, like this video, and also share this video with your friends, with your family, with everyone that you know that is interested in coming to study in Poland. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.